But how do you know that the person on the cross is a Jesus?
Are you saying like, well, it's only because it's an image. It's an image, an
So, but
image.
that's the Bible says that do not make any image under the water, in the sky, on the earth. So why are you making it? Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good afternoon.
Very good.
In the morning, huh?
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Anthony.
Anthony, pleasure to meet you.
Very good, very good. So,
Yeah.
so you believe in Catholicism. So you are priest, or you're not yet? Are you studying?
We are in our studies.
In
so
studies.
we have a few. I have one more year. He has quite a few left.
Oh, quite good. Okay,
Yeah.
beautiful. Where are you guys from? Here, local?
I'm a local, so he's just visiting. Well, we're both on vacation. but
Where are you
he's-
from?
I'm from Brazil.
Brazil. Okay,
Yeah.
beautiful. That's good. So how's the study going on?
It's going really well, I'd say. Yeah, it's intense, it's rigorous, but it's very joyful, and just to know more about God helps you to love Him more.
So
Yeah,
it's 5-year study?
for our seminary, it's 7.
7-year.
Yeah,
Beautiful. Long way.
yeah.
Long way.
It's a long way. It flies though. It's,
Oh yeah, you're right. Time flies these
Yeah.
days. Yeah. So what you learned so far from the Bible?
Okay. Yeah.
I'm a believer of Catholicism. I was born in the Catholic.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah. So I guess big picture, the Bible is about. It's about reclaiming our sonship in God through Christ, and how we see that sonship throughout the Old Testament. God trying to establish it many times with the covenant with Israel, and they keep falling. So we need grace, which comes through Jesus Christ.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So whatever the Pope, are you following the Pope?
We do.
So whatever the Pope saying, do you have to accept it, or that's up to you guys, or you just have to?
Yeah, if the Pope says I love avocados and everybody should eat avocados, we don't have to follow it.
Yeah, you understand? No, I'm not talking about.
I'm just gonna joke.
I'm not talking about the food things. I'm talking the biblical something.
Yeah,
so
that's, basically,
yeah.
Catholics are obliged to follow the Pope on matters of faith and morals whenever he makes what are called ex cathedra statements. Basically means he's speaking from the authority as the successor of St. Peter,
Sure.
which only happens in history rarely.
Okay.
So, but he is the overall, though he's still, he's the leader of, of the Catholic Church. He's the successor of St. Peter. But he can be a bad man, and he can be like, he can have all these moral defects where he might, privately, as like a private theologian, he might speak and hold erroneous opinions. It's quite possible. We've had a history of bad popes.
And do you think there's other way to God, or Jesus only one way?
So I believe there is only one way, and that is through Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ came founding a church. And that church, he didn't leave us a Bible. He didn't leave us a book. He left us the church. And the church compiled the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
In which the definitive list was in the 4th century with the Council of Nicaea. Yeah. So he came and establishing a church. And St. Paul speaks about this church, his Christ's body.
Sure.
Because what do we see, up until Christ came, every religion is man's attempt to reach out to the divine.
Mm-hmm.
We see all these different ways that man tries to reach out to the divine, and it's expressed through all these different religions. There has to be a way that's, the way, right? And to remedy that, God revealed himself to, first the Israelites, and then all the other nations around them recognized the God of Israel. But, that was still incomplete because, he still needed to redeem us, and therefore he sent down Christ. So this is no longer just us trying to reach out to God. This is now God descending to us. So it is, Jesus Christ, and it is through him that we have salvation.
Beautiful. That's something new for Catholicism, because a lot of priests they're saying there's any other way too. It's not only.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? It's tragic because I do know of priests who say that, and quite frankly, they're wrong. They are teaching error.
So what you say when people they go and see those statues, Mary and saints? Yeah. So you okay with that?
So what they're doing, so we have to understand, we have to make a distinction between, what is worship. let's just go back, because I often talk to Protestants about this, and they talk about you should not make any graven images, or you should not make any like statues and whatnot, because they go back to Deuteronomy and Exodus and Leviticus, where God gives that command to Moses. But the funny thing is, immediately after, God tells to Moses, and here's how you're going to make the Ark of the Covenant. You're going to make it with 2 cherubim on the side of it. Those are graven images. Mm-hmm. So we have to understand it in context. And basically what was happening was they were, in the ancient world, idolatry was you were attributing the divinity to this idol. So it's the object itself that is your connection to the divine. So by worshiping that thing, you were worshiping your God. That's that was the tenet. That was the idea of idolatry. In Catholicism, it's more so. Whenever we see a statue, it's like looking at a picture of our loved one. I know a lot of our friends. In their office at work, they have a picture of their family, and they'll look at their family, throughout the day to remind them of them. And sometimes if they call their wife during work, they'll just look at their picture while just calling them. And that's kind of what it is in the Catholic Church. It's not that we are praying to the statue. It's more so that we are asking the saints.
Are you sure about that? You're not praying? Because see, I grew up in Catholic Church.
Yeah.
I see everybody, not only one person.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something new from you.
Uh-huh.
Everybody bow down to the statues, and because I was born in the St. Anthony Feast time, so that's why my name is Anthony.
Yeah.
So St. Anthony statues there, and then we have the Mary statues there.
Yeah.
So I bow down, and everybody bow down and pray to it.
Yeah.
And that's in Catholic Church. I'm not talking about.
Yeah.
So
the benefit of the doubt that I would give is that they weren't actually worshiping the statue itself.
I'm telling you, I was.
And if they were worshiping the statue itself, that would be superstitious.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I'm saying that I see a churches here in America.
Yeah.
I mean, I see when I'm back home, but here in America, I go.
But
people that so you never do you have a statue in your church?
Yeah, we do. And
So
the
why
idea
you
is like
have
this.
the statue?
Right. So let's talk about a king. A king.
No,
comes,
let's go to stay on the topic. I mean, why
No.
do you have a statue in the in the church?
Because the same way that when we see the statue, it reminds us of the person.
But God said, "Do not put the image," and that's His house.
Yeah, but but then God told Moses then to make an image.
What image?
The cherubim, the Ark of the Covenant.
Ark of the Covenant is the place. I mean, it's not a statue. It's a
graven images.
I
can argue there were statues on it.
No, there's nothing we can.
The two
Because
angels.
then God saying that it contradicts itself. He said, "Do not make any, and do not worship. I am the jealous God."
Or maybe we are misinterpreting it.
How?
How? Well, because we're not to worship it, which is not what Catholics are doing. Catholics aren't worshiping the statue. If they are worshiping the statue, then that would be wrong.
So why we have the statue in the church?
Because what I was trying to tell you is that the statue is a reminder of the person it represents. Like, when we see the cross of Christ, we see Jesus crucified.
Yeah, that's wrong. Even you have Jesus on the cross. Jesus is not on the cross right now.
Well, he's not, but what does St. Paul say? St. Paul says we preach Christ crucified.
Yeah, I'm not saying the saying or preaching is not but when you see a rosary has a Jesus on it, why you want to remember something which is not really, that's identified, the cross is identified, not Jesus, because Jesus is not there. And how do you know that the one you put it on the picture, that's a Jesus?
Well, the thing is, St. Paul says we preach Christ crucified. So when Catholics have Jesus on the cross, it seems like rather you're commemorating something that's really bad by, being like having a reminder of Jesus' death. But it's actually the greatest. That's his triumph. Christ on the cross is how he redeemed the world. So when Catholics have Christ on the cross, it's actually more so how we are preaching him.
No, bro. Yeah. My question is that how do you know the person on the cross is a Jesus?
Because we go off of what Christ told the apostles. Christ was crucified on the cross. The Scripture tells us.
We have no problem with that. What you're saying that. But how do you know that the person on the cross is a Jesus?
Are you saying it's only because it's an image. It's an image, image.
But that's the Bible said that do not make any image under the water, in the sky, on the earth. So why are you making it? Because you are contradicting yourself.
Well, no, but you weren't listening to what I was saying. When I was going back to the Old Testament, because God does tell them don't make any graven images, any likeness under the heavens and on the earth, like you said. But then He also tells them to do so when they make the Ark of the Covenant.
Ark of the Covenant, bro. This is Ark of the Covenant. Something to put it on.
And not only that, but let's say
if I make a house and I make a statue, that's a two different stuff.
Why?
Because the house we're gonna live in there, that's our shadow. But statue is not a shadow. We are putting somebody image of in our mind.
Yeah.
So but that's wrong. But Jesus said that. How do you know that's Jesus? I mean, I have no problem if I put your picture as my father, brother, son, or whatever.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. You putting the picture which we do not know that, because see what happened. That's a spiritual barrier, because you do not know if you bring some image in your house. You don't know what kind of demons are involved in that one. So you're bringing a demons in your house if you bring somebody pictures in your house if you do not know that.
Let's just use what you said. You said there's no problem if you have an image of your.
Which is, I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to use it. But if you're my brother, if I take your picture, I know that who you look like, and I take a picture. But we are putting the person we do not know.
I just don't understand, why is it what we do know? That's the thing. Why is it? Why can't we do the same thing with an image of a saint?
Because Jesus said that do not make an image of.
To worship. We don't worship the image.
No.
We don't worship the image.
I mean, you're putting a Jesus on the cross, and we do not know who is that.
We do. It's Jesus.
That was a Jesus?
Because it's an image. It's an image.
That's exactly the Jesus say already that. That's why
Jesus did not say that.
He said that God the one said that. Yeah. So Jesus and God is different?
No, Jesus is God.
So that's what I'm saying. He's the God, okay?
But at the time we both agree on this. I think it's beyond the point of the conversation. But just focusing on the image, it's the context that God told the Israelites, don't make any images and likenesses. The idea was because He didn't want them to worship it, because all the other nations were doing that around them.
But brother, they are worshiping people.
I'm telling you, as a Catholic,
I am a Catholic. I was a Catholic, okay. And my parents we doing Rosary. Where's the Rosary in the Bible? Where's in the Rosary in the Bible?
The Rosary it is saying the Bible. You shall pray the Rosary, but you have to understand.
So why are you doing that? That's a man-made.
Because the Rosary is actually a compilation of a lot of Scripture.
Who said that?
Well, the Our Father.
Our Father understands it, but where said that Rosary or Hail Mary? Where is it?
The Rosary didn't exist at the time the Bible was being
closed. So who created that? That's what I'm saying. So Father says, simply pray for me to our Father in heaven.
Why is the Rosary a bad idea if it's helping people?
It's not a bad idea. We are going to contradict the Bible. God say that. We worshiping Hail Mary then.
We are not worshiping Our Lady.
Brother, you are saying 10 times that things, and you're saying you're not. You are doing it, and you say you're not. No. You're saying don't drink the water, but you keep drinking it.
I just don't understand why you. I'm telling you, as we are as representatives of the Catholic Church, as those who are being informed academically to be in the life of the priest, we're telling you one thing. We're telling you what the Church believes, but you refuse to.
But you're telling me, which is not really affecting. What you're saying that's not really happening. It is happening opposite way. People, they are in the church going to worship idol. You have an idol outside, you have an idol inside, and then you praying Hail Mary, which is not. Why not you stay on the Bible? Why we have to go man-made stuff? Who made that Hail Mary?
I'm just going to say, this conversation doesn't seem to be very constructive, just because I personally feel that you're not, listening to Danilo and I, when we're trying to explain our position on these idols and why we do it. But you don't seem interested to know why we do it, or what it is that we're actually doing. So. I honestly, this is Danilo's day off, so I'm just going to continue to go with Danilo.
Sure, bro. But you know what? You are going out of the Bible, and you will be. Bible say that if anybody come and teach something else, they will be cursed. So you have to be very careful.
Says. If an angel comes preaching a gospel different from the gospel I preach, let him be anathema.
Yeah, and you are preaching. Hail Mary are praying, and people they are praying. Every Christian.
When we do it, though, that's the whole point.
You're saying that, but that's not.
You're not. You have to listen, though. Here's what we're actually doing.
Brother, what do you think that when you do Hail Mary? Are you praying or to Mother Mary?
Let's just look at. Yeah, go ahead, Danilo.
I asking. Well, Jesus have a mother.
Yeah, we don't have any problem with that. Of course, we have a mother.
So imagine if you have a king, and you live in his kingship, and you need to offer something to him. You need to talk with the king. So you don't have a personal contact with the king.
Mary did for us.
But you need to listen.
Just listen to him.
Okay, but he's bringing that.
I have a difficulty with the English,
okay, go ahead,
and I'm trying to.
Okay, sure, go ahead.
So if you give a gift for the king directly, it will be better if you give to his mother give to him. So when you are praying for a lady, you are not worshiping her. We ask her intercession for us. because she is the mother of God. I love my mother. Probably you have your mother too. So if someone do something good for my mother, I will be very happy with this. So that's his our relationship. And we pray for
what you saying, that's a worldly thing. We do have that, but the word God is. That's why. Then what good is that if you die on our cross? And what that he break that those curtains. So we have it directly to. Why then no good for Jesus to came in this world? If we have to go through here and there, then we do not follow the Bible. Why do you say I have a connected to you directly? Come to me.
So whatever the church teaches us is helpful for us to arrive in our end. Our end of our life is to find God, and the church provides some instruments for us to do that.
Okay, I'm going to ask you.
We are using everything that we can for achieve this end.
Okay, I have a question. There's a king, like you say that, which is there's a king, and you want to reach king and you want to talk to king, but I'm his assistant. I said I'm not going to let you go to talk to him. Would you like to talk to me, or would you like to talk to king directly?
But I don't have an option to talk
directly. No. You do have the option, but I'm asking you. I give you an option. Oh, you want to come through me, or you want to go directly to talk to the king? So what you will prefer?
If he suppose that I go and talk directly with the king, which one do you?
I think he's welcoming. He's not denying it.
Which one do you think that he will listen more?
That's
his
right.
assistant or you?
I think the king. He has more power than you.
Yeah, but in who he will pay attention more? In his assistant or in you?
That's why he died for. He said he loved that John 3:16. He said the God.
Assistant or in you?
I'm sorry?
If the king, someone needs to talk with him.
Yeah, that's why he said come to me directly. Yeah. King saying that come to me, and that some people they want to come in the middle.
Which one do you think?
I will go to
or you?
King, of course. I'm go to directly to the king. Because the
king will
if he pass me something, if you're telling me something, and I'm going to tell him something, so there's going to be any problem.
So, Anthony, I think overall this conversation, we're going to would you at least be open to, many people, dislike the Catholic Church based on what they think the Catholic Church is, not what the Catholic Church actually is. That's
I come from there. My still families are there. I deal with them every. No, I do. Only not my experience. I see hundreds and thousands of people. They are worshiping. They don't even talk to Jesus. They never even ask for Jesus' name. They ask for Mother Mary. That's all they do.
I think, Anthony, still though, you are making. I think you still don't understand the Catholic faith. I know. I
understand Bible. I don't understand Catholic faith.
Well, but we have to understand, I would say this, if you want to have a constructive conversation, with a Catholic, you really just have to honestly know what it is that we believe.
Bro, I came from Catholicism. I was a choir. I was in the assistant for father.
I still see that you're misunderstanding something.
How can I say the I'm not a baby. I've grown. I've seen my paper. Yeah. But how you can telling me, keep saying that? I do not know exactly.
Well, it's because you're telling me these things.
Where is the Bible saying that you have to pray Hail Mary?
The Bible doesn't. Anyway, we're going in circles here. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and take Danilo. We're gonna continue our day.
God bless you, guys. God bless you. All right. Look for Jesus only. Thank you very much, sir.